Get into some news right now. 52 games have already been shut down in 2026. Yeah, man. It's not even halfway through the year. 52 games have already been shut down. So this is from Game Rant. I've been following for a while. One of the companies I'm reevaluating if I'm going to actually follow them as a news source. But they're good for stuff like this. Like just a straight up fucking list. And this is a long list. We're not even 6 months into the year, and this is how many games. A lot of these are PlayStation games, bro. A lot of these are PlayStation games, coincidentally. A lot of them are like old sports games, a lot of old driving games. Yeah. Wrestling games. Yeah, sports games, baseball, wrestling. Genshin Impact PS4, yeah. Because they're shutting down a lot of stuff on PS4. I just think they're just ending PS4 everything. So, yeah. Yeah. So, yeah. On that note, Stop Killing Games backed bill that would bar publishers from switching off game servers without thinking of players passes California State Assembly vote. So we talked about this like every week. I think last week we talked about how it passed one section of the California legal process. Now it's on to the state assembly vote, where they're pretty sure that it's going to get some positive reviews. And this is after the big gaslighting campaign that the Entertainment Software Association, their opposition, has done. I mean, and people, their campaign was so good that even a known popular smart guy was duped into like taking their sides. Then he's like, oh, wait a minute. Because he was just speaking at the side of his neck. But he really shouldn't have been doing that because he's supposed to be a smart guy and be well informed. And he made an uninformed comment and came back and retracted it. I'm not going to say his name. I said it last week. But yeah, so that's good. On to the next step, making progress. And so if you don't know, what they're trying to do is just how we talked about how 52 games shut down. They want players to have the option to be able to still have access to this game they played for. It's kind of hard to argue with free-to-play games, even if they try to argue that you spent money on monetization, like transactions or bling, whatever. I don't know how that's getting exactly worked into the situation, but or considered. All they want is for customers who have paid for a product to have a way to access that product somehow. And while they understand that the cost of maintaining a server is not viable in a dead game, that's not what they're asking. They're asking that you either compensate them financially for no more access, or you make available or make it allowable to be made available by modders for the game to still be playable. Make it legal and okay. They don't even say you have to do the work. Just you have modders and communities that will already do it. Let them do it. It's a win-win. You know what I'm saying? Know what I'm saying? Microsoft agrees to pay $250 million to settle lawsuit over what? What am I reading? Microsoft agrees to over Activision. What? Activision Blizzard deal. What's going on? I thought this transaction was said and done. I thought all the opposition to this transaction was already taken care of and had been addressed. If you guys don't know what the fuck happened with this deal and why this deal was able to go through, is because the Federal Trade Commission said you can't sell everything to Microsoft. You got to break it up. So Ubisoft bought part of it. Someone else bought part of it. But the major part of it, like all the IPs, went straight to fucking Microsoft. While like Ubisoft takes care of some of the publishing or something, or a little subsidiary. So that's how that deal went through. I had no idea that this was still going on. This was years ago. This is like 2022, 2023. Microsoft agrees to pay $250 million to settle lawsuit over Activision Blizzard deal. Microsoft will fund 40% of settlement, remaining 60% covered by directors and officers' liability insurance. What? So, the lawsuit, this specific lawsuit filed by Swedish pension fund Fonden AP7, they just referred to as AP7 throughout the course of the article, alleged that CEO Bobby Kotick rushed the sale, thereby depriving shareholders of a better start price than the $95 per share. So basically, he sold it to Microsoft, locking in this price. And the argument is like, once the news got out that the sale was going, the price was going up. And it was going up. It could have been like $200 a share, and that would have been good for people who owned it. And that's what this guy is arguing. He's like, there's some shady fucking shenanigans going on. He goes, besides the fact that everybody was worried about it being a monopoly, that was like Sony. Sony was the big proponent against it happening from that perspective, and that's why it got split up technically three ways. The publishing arm went somewhere, the whatever went somewhere else, but the IPs, like the names of the ownership of the properties, went to fucking Microsoft. That's all Microsoft cared about. So was it 2022 class? It's 2026, bro. I had no idea this was still going on. And the article goes on to talk about Bobby Kotick specifically and his bad behaviors and his misogynistic workplace environment that corporate culture that he ushered in and maintained. Microsoft does not substantiate any allegations that there has been systemic or widespread workplace misconduct at Activision. That Activision senior executives ignored, condoned, or tolerated a culture of systemic harassment, retaliation, or discrimination, or that Activision's board of directors, including its CEO, Kotick, acted improperly with regard to the handling of any instances of workplace misconduct. You see, that's why this sale originally went through. Bobby Kotick started popping up in the news because his name started popping up in the fucking Epstein files, bro. Yes. What? Exactly. So, once the fucking news of the sale hit the headlines, man, everybody forgot that Bobby Kotick's going around grabbing pussies at the office. Everybody forgot. Yeah, suddenly nobody's talking about this fucking piece of shit anymore. They're talking about the news that he's selling his company. And everything that's mentioned about him after that to this date is about the sale. And everybody forgets that he was a piece of fucking shit. Kotick had alleged that AP7 suit was linked to the Swedish conglomerate Embracer, referring to AP7. Okay, so Kotick came up with this shenanigans off the wall theory that Embracer was behind this lawsuit. And Embracer even made a statement like, "Now we got nothing to do with it." And they may have. There's no way to prove some backroom shenanigans wasn't going on because they're a financial company. They're they're like an investment fund technically, and this is probably one of their investors. I didn't look into that. No court or any independent investigation has substantiated any allegations that there has been systemic widespread sexual harassment. by Activision Blizzard senior executives, ignored, condoned, or tolerated. Yes, there is a lot of information regarding that. That did happen, and that's exactly what went on among the union busting tactics. Yeah. So I guess in a settlement for the lawsuit, because it looks like this AP7 company is ruling to fucking let the lawsuit. They're dragging it out. If it's been going on this long, I didn't even know about it. No one's talked about it. I don't see any. Haven't seen news about it since it happened, right? And if it's going on this long, that means AP7 is like, bro, we'll stretch this out for the rest of our fucking lives. And so, yeah, Microsoft's settling. Microsoft is settling on behalf of the bad behavior of the company they absorbed former owners. Microsoft is paying the bill for Bobby Kotick's bad behavior. Literally. Not that I fucking care, but, but the fact that he got to pay for his bad behavior is ridiculous. All right, enough about that. The Pope has spoken, y'all. What? Yep. Pope says AI must be disarmed and shouldn't dominate humanity. We're going the opposite way. This article from Digital Trends. Also, similar topic, same topic from IGN. Pope Leo quotes Gandalf from The Lord of the Rings as he issues stark AI warning. He literally quoted Gandalf. Other evils there are that may come, for Sauron is himself but a servant or emissary. Yet it is not our part to master all the tides of the world, but to do what it is in us for the succor of those years wherein we are set. Basically, he's saying, don't fuck up the world for the future generations. A significant portion of the... So this is a speech. The speech was called the Humanitaria something... Oh, Magnifica. Magnifica Humanitas was the name of the document. All right? Came out here on the 25th. A significant portion of it deals with the concentration of AI in the hands of a few people. He talks about. He warns that this risks widening the gap between those included and those excluded from the digital revolution. He calls for ethical standards shaped not by a handful of decision makers, but by a shared principle of social justice. Yeah, good luck in a corporatist world. He goes on to say that AI should not be used for killing humans. He wants humans to kill humans, he said. I don't know how else to describe that. Or how else to interpret that. He actually said that. He doesn't think that, remote whatever or AI should be used in the destruction of humanity. But my first reaction is, okay, so it's okay for humans to kill humans? Is this what you're saying? Or I guess if it has to happen, let a human do it. I mean, give him PTSD and a traumatic experience in life for having to kill another human being. It makes so much sense, Pope. But yeah, and that's an extreme example of some of the examples that he was going through of how AI is removing the humanity from humanity. And on that note, there was an article also this week, I didn't show it, about how the rampant use of AI through the internet is actually removing the human cultural side and aspect. And they have ways of detecting, how AI LLM conversations is just straight logic. There's no emotion in it conveyed through the usage of vocabulary. And I was going to go into that article, but I just decided not to show it. AI becoming a tool for the powerful, says the Pope. The crux of the entire document is that the Pope, in encyclical is what it's called. Encyclical? What the fuck does that even mean, bro? I'm an intelligent guy. The fuck is encyclical? An encyclical was originally a circular letter sent to all the churches of a particular era, intended for general-wide circulation. Okay. Fancy word for public statement. Public statement. Encyclical. Same number of syllables. Is that the Pope wants technology to serve people, not the other way around. He calls for better labor protections, transparency, and communication, renewed attention to schools and legal frameworks that hold AI development accountable. He also sings out migrants, workers in dangerous conditions, and victims of abuse as groups that need our empathy and protection. At its heart, Magnifica Humanitas is a reminder that no matter how advanced technology gets, the measure of progress will still be a human one. I like that conclusion from the Pope. GDC trends. This is my favorite news outlet, gamingindustry.biz. Here's some ones that give you just the facts. GDC Trends report 2026 as use of generative AI rises. Devs face infrastructure problem. Key insights over the professional ethics of AI, the growth of co-developed partnerships, and challenges. So yeah, the typical bullshit and rhetoric about AI. The typical rhetoric about funding and the industry in trouble. What I found interesting about this article was this part, the growth of co-developer partnerships and what it had to say about that. As co-developer partnerships grows in popularity, increased competition has made it more difficult for new teams to secure long-term partnerships. Developers prefer co-developing over outsourcing because it enables teams to work on larger, more foundational parts of a game and have greater creative input. Because there are organizations out there, because I see articles like new group starts up to help companies, blah, 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 and they want you to outsource your stuff to them. You know, we are Unreal Engine experts. We'll troubleshoot your problems for you. Stuff like that. And that's what they're talking about. They don't want to use. Studios were encouraged to consider self-publishing as an alternative to external funding or partnerships, as it avoids higher publisher sales percentages and preserves creative control. However, self-publishing does not offer publisher services such as marketing, testing, and quality assurance, if you want to know what a publisher actually fucking does. And this. The report also addressed the impact of anti-DEI policies and the shift to merit-based systems, which critics argued overlook initial disadvantages faced by marginal developers, particularly those in the LGBTQ plus community. Really. This can't be fucking for real. This can't be real. This can't be real, bro. So address the impact of policies and the shift to merit-based systems. So a shift to a merit-based system is argued against because it feels like it disadvantages LGBTQ plus community. A merit-based system disadvantages LGBTQ plus. That doesn't make any fucking sense. And of course, leave it up to them to be the fucking crybabies about something good. They couldn't just take it as a win. They're like, oh, but what about us? What about us? And come the fuck on. moving right along before I dwell on that too much longer. Hey, we got a fucking another developer union. Wizards of the Coast writes to staff to explain how union representation works as studio prepares to vote to unionize. This is from another article from GameIndustry.biz, and there was a few articles about this specific piece of news, but we'll just talk about this one. This is pretty much straight to the point. Basically, they're going to try and unionize the workers and employees of Wizards of the Coast, and this really seems like a really low-key type of union-busting tactics, but they wouldn't be trying to unionize if it wasn't for a reason, all right? So in the letter, Wizards to its employees, to its whole company, Wizards of the Coast, says things like, very politically correct, very unbiased letter. They were very careful in their wording of it, but they said, do you really want a third party representing you when you guys can just come to us? You always could come to us. And if you, after this vote, if you decide that you are still going to not be if you don't want a union, we promise better this and better that after the vote. But they said, if the vote does go through and we advance to bargaining, you could end up with what you have now. You could end up not having what you have now. I mean, they said you could end up with better, less, or the same. But they're emphasizing like you could end up with less than you have now. You always could come to us. You never could not come to us. Just keep coming to us with your problems and issues. Apparently it wasn't working out. Yeah, so this basically talks about the letter and picks it apart about them begging people not to unionize. But it's probably going to end up getting unionized. So the article closes out with a nice little summary. If employees do not choose union representation, Wizards of the Coast would continue to work directly with employees on workplace matters, just as it does today, really, with a much greater degree of flexibility than a typically rigid union contract. Wasn't doing that already? Wizards of the Coast and Hasbro missed the deadline to voluntarily recognize a union formed by Magic the Gathering arena developers with support from the Communication Workers of America Union. Psychonauts developer Double Fine Productions filed to unionize with support from the Communication Workers of America earlier this month. Several Microsoft subsidiaries have unionized since 2022. Raven Software became the first major video game union in the United States. Other unionized studios include Activision Quality Assurance United, One BGS from Bethesda, World of Warcraft Game Makers Guild, Quality Assurance teams at Blizzard in Albany and Austin, Activision User Research Union, Overwatch Gamers Guild. So yeah, Blizzard. And I got to take note, most of these Blizzard and Microsoft unions happened after the acquisition. Just put that out there. We're going to talk about it. We're going to talk about it. We are going to talk about it. We will be talking about Marathon for sure today. Normally don't talk about it but yeah. Because of what's going on, yeah. But yeah, so that's what's going on Wizard of the West Coast. Here's a quick little blurb. A fandom and GameSpot owner set to buy Blacktooth publisher PlayStack. Huh. I didn't even know Blacktooth was in trouble, but hey, if you're hot, you're hot. You got to strike while the iron's hot. You know what I'm saying? TrueFin has conditionally agreed to sell its 84.5% stake in PlayStack to Integrated Media Company. Interesting. For now, it's business as usual. I sincerely thank TrueFin for being an invaluable partner. Interesting. IMC also owns games media brand GameSpot alongside Wiki Platform Fandom, game distribution platform Fandom, and YouTube brand Screen Junkies alongside other entertainment, football, and e-commerce brands. So they're just widening. I don't know. They probably just made him an offer or something. I don't know. But I know Balotro was not struggling at all. It was a great success. It was just that it was an unknown game out of nowhere. It just, it was accused of gambling and shit, but it's not a gambling game. There's cards in it. So, yeah, man. NetEase reports 6.9% increase in games revenue. Yeah. NetEase owns games like Where Winds Meet. And what else do they own? What else do they own? They're confirmed they would stop funding of Gang of Dragon developer Nagashi Studio. Never heard of any of those. For the first quarter, we delivered another solid quarter across our established gaming portfolio. What are other games? Where's the list of games at? I know where. Oh, here it is. NetEase also reported expanded global launches for Where Winds Meet and Marvel Rivals. Oh, Marvel Rivals. Duh. Duh. That's why they're killing it. Yeah, I think NetEase was the company that had to step into during the whole Microsoft acquisition. You see, they maintain Blizzard titles in China because they had to break up the company so it wouldn't be such a monopoly. NetEase also reported increased sales for self-developed titles, including Westward Journey, Where Winds Meet, Identity 5, Eggy Party, Sword of Justice. Yeah, so yeah. Where Winds Meet, what's up? I just can't get into Where Winds Meet, man. The fucking sub menu. You'll spend about 20% of your game time in the fucking goddamn menus, bro. For real. You got a lot of articles. Look at all these articles, man. Look at all these articles. These are still talking about the interview from Take-Two Interactive's CEO last week. And some of the news, more behavior and actions they're taking as we close in on the launch of Grand Theft Auto 6. And I told you before, I don't like talking about big titles like this. This company has a fucking ridiculously huge marketing budget. I mean, literally every day in the news since GTA 5 came out, every day in the fucking news has been something about GTA 6. And I know because I follow the news, and that's not an exaggeration. Every fucking day. It's fucking just like, Jesus fucking Christ. But you're going to fire 30-something people for trying to form a union? Okay. Yeah, fuck GTA, this, that. Fuck Take-Two. Fuck Rockstar. This company is just as bad as Bobby Kotick from Blizzard, the former Blizzard CEO. Disgusting company. Seriously. Take-Two forces GTA 5 multiplayer platform Rage MP to shut down. Got a couple articles about it. Unsanctioned GTA Online modding platform, blah, blah, blah. It's been operating just fine for years. It's been operating, and they let it operate. So here's what happened. GTA 6 is coming out, so they're fucking shutting these platforms down right now. I mean, they've known of their existence for a while because they bought 5M. That's right. They bought 5M because they tried to shut 5M down a long time ago. Then instead of shutting them down, they bought them and absorbed 5M to an integrated part of Rockstar, umbrella. And that's why a lot of the GTA 6 built-in features are going to evolve modding community features and Roblox type of, community-created content. That's already been said they're going to do that. So, but it's kind of fucking shitty that they literally, I mean, the writing's on the wall. You deliberately let them operate so you can make money off of whatever it was they're doing, the little trickle down, because people are going to go buy copies of the game. Oh man, I want to check out some GTA multiplayer role playing that I see streamers do. Blah, blah, blah. Oh, I can't get into this. It's not really expensive, because some of them are really hard to get into unless you're a famous streamer. And so there are other side jobs that were easier to get into, like 5M. And Rockstar is known of their existence, but they were profiting off their existence on the side. But because of GTA 6 about to come out, and because it has modding built in, they shut these motherfuckers down, bro. And that's pretty fucking shitty, dude. Fucking fuck these guys. Seriously. Also, we talked about last week the ongoing lawsuit about Rockstar firing 30-something people last year. We're determined to win justice for the 31 fired workers. Rockstar Games workers publicly launched union as a legal battle with GTA. Yeah, so they got the union now, but they were forming it back then, and that's what they got fired for. Rockstar infiltrated a private Discord server where the union organization was taking place and identified employees in the Discord by their accounts and fired them. Yes. Fucking yes. Yeah. Fuck you, Rockstar. Amidst ongoing legal proceedings, Rockstar devs have publicly formed union with IWGB. I don't know where GTA 6... Okay, this is about what the boss is saying. And some of this stuff was just all over the place. Some of these articles, very opinionative. But that's the gist of it, bro. And this statement right here from the Take-Two's CEO is kind of like, I was reading between the lines, it sounds like GTA 6 isn't ready to get released. And it sounds like they maybe don't want to release it, but they have to. And if you read what this guy is saying, I don't know where GTA Online performance goes after the release of GTA 6. I have no reason to believe that the performance will not continue. These aren't very reassuring, confident statements. He knows something's wrong. He knows something's wrong. Hang on. I got to look up something before I move on. Okay. Yeah. He knows something's up. He doesn't sound too confident with this statement. Oops. Need to do that. So that's what's going on. And but what's up with Marathon? What's up with Marathon? You know, I don't know. Here's 15 fucking articles about Marathon. Here's 15 fucking articles about Marathon. About Bungie. About Destiny. Here's fucking 15 articles about it. We can talk forever about it. I don't think there's much more to say other than what I've already said last week about it. But before they shut Marathon down, you got to give it a try. That's overall. Before they shut Marathon down, Marathon's having a free week. There's going to be like a free week of Marathon or some shit, or a free weekend. It may have already started. Try it out before they shut the fucker down. Before they close, because Sony closes companies now. And Bungie is part of Sony. And as such, as an online petition for Destiny 3 gains traction, reports suggest Bungie staff didn't know about the end of Destiny 2 until the public announcement. This was last week. So apparently there was a petition for the fans wanting Destiny 3, right? And it got didn't even make 300,000 signatures. But yeah, didn't even make 300,000 signatures. Bungie is not really at fault over Destiny 2 shutdown. Yeah, it's because you sold to Sony. But that's not what they were saying last week. You guys are at fault. You've handled Destiny poorly in its updates and its weapons and how you reset stuff. You always have handled it poorly. And you didn't learn anything from it, and you're making the same fucking mistakes with Marathon. Yeah. And you only sold to... You were in trouble before you sold to Sony, and that's why you sold out to Sony back in 2022, 23? That's why. Because you were already in trouble. Because you were already being fucking stupid. You are the famous, reputable developers of the goddamn Halo franchise, and you shit all over your fucking fan base with Destiny because people were mad about Halo when you started Destiny, and they followed you still, and they've been trickling off. They've been trickling off. And now they're fucking downvoting and review bombing Marathon because you're shutting down Destiny and comparing why you should have Destiny instead of Marathon and why Marathon is so bad compared to Destiny. That's what this whole fucking petition talks about. Yeah. Bungie has slowly been digging their fucking own grave. It's sad to say. Sad to say. Destiny was originally a paid game, and then it was a free-to-play game, and the people who paid for it were pissed off. Fuck. One thing after another. Marathon voice actor hits back at online trolls. Yeah, this dude's fucking taking it personally. He's taking it personally. There's 2 articles about this guy. He wants to quit fucking X over it. Destiny versus Marathon. Bungie's community is divided at the worst time. As Destiny 2 ends, what's next for Bungie? Opinion. Putting the doom and gloom aside and looking at the facts and ground level vibes after Destiny 2's demise. I'm no oracle, but having lived through bigger live service debacles and being close to Destiny and Marathon's communities, I've collected some thoughts below. I want the fucking summary, bro. As fans demand a third Destiny, I'm of the opinion it might be time for Bungie to return to its Xbox era and work on traditional premium package with strong campaign and Halo-like multiplayer modes. Hey, what made him successful originally? No shit. Something that's cheaper and faster to produce. New IP or old. Now feels like the time to play things a bit safe. So become console exclusives under the PlayStation, because Sony's already said they're not, the few live service games that they have that are already cross-platform they're going to maintain, but moving forward in the future, nothing new. They won't be putting out anything new. Regardless of Marathon's performing better or worse in the long run, Bungie not having another project going is a worrying sign. Yeah. Sony likes shutting underperforming companies down. They'll fucking can you. That's why so many people are leaving. That's why some of these indies that had become under the Sony umbrella are leaving, and some are getting shut down by Sony. And my speculation, that's just because of the contractual agreement that these smaller dev teams had with Sony going into the agreement. Some of them became exclusive, I guess, properties of Sony, and Sony could just shut them down, dissolve them if they wanted, while others broke off after, the announcement of these console exclusives. Like, they're like, no, I don't want to be a console exclusive. So Sony doesn't know how to make smart decisions either. I mean, we can look back at the Helldiver debacle where they started forcing people to have PSN accounts, and they lost about a third of their global audience in regions where PlayStation accounts were not legally allowed. You know what I'm saying? They're like, oops, yeah. And they lost some money because of their agreement with Steam, and a lot of those were through Steam, not PlayStation, right? And Steam was like, okay, we'll honor your refunds because of the legality of the issue. But then Steam goes to PlayStation like, we need our monies back, motherfuckers. That is exactly what happened. And that is why Sony reversed their stance on Helldivers players having PSN accounts. If you don't recall, as Destiny 2 ends was, yeah, I predict Bungie's Marathon's probably gonna get shut down. Probably gonna get shut down. I mean, people are playing it on Steam, and while this isn't a real accurate number, there's a lot of people play it on PlayStation also. We don't need to do this. I don't need to do that. Just go to Steam charts. Yeah, I think they're gonna shut it down, even with the changes they made. Come on, bitch. Even with the changes they've made in this new update where they're adding more PvE elements, even though not initially out the gate. And I speculated why that is, and why wouldn't you just have it? Or you said you're going to have it during Season 2. Why not just do it? Why wait until halfway through Season 2 or whatever start? It doesn't make any sense the way they're rolling it out. It's not even... Is this it? How did you see the picture? Yeah. This is fucking Marathon, bro. This is Marathon. Doing so hot. Not doing so hot. There's 8,700 people on Steam. There's a lot of people that play it on PlayStation too. I would say, if I had to guess, I'd say there's probably about 12,000 people in the world playing it. No more than 15,000 people playing it right now. That sucks. They're going to shut it down, bro. Marathon's going to get shut down. And then Sony's going to shut Bungie down unless they can present a product to them that they confident is going to sell. Because Sony doesn't seem to be too confident in anybody lately, as indicated by what's been going on and how they've been just fucking shedding studios and developers. Oh, here's one for you, Maury. Public shame. I'm all about it, bro. As a Rust player, the Rust Discord server has a name and shame channel that they quit updating years ago. But they had publicly shamed fucking cheaters, bro. Hundreds of Marvel Rivals cheats named and shamed in an immediate targeted purge. That's right. Good for you, NetEase. Marvel Rivals is cracking down on cheaters. Love hearing it, man. They didn't just do it. They named and shamed them. They named and shamed these donkeys, man. Named and shamed them. That's what I'm talking about. Yes. That's what you get. That's what you get. They listed their like their account IDs and all this shit. Where's it say that at? Recently, our telemetry detected that following the weekend update, a fraction of rogue players began promoting and deploying unauthorized third-party enhancements. This blatant disruption of our battlefield, blah, 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 blah. In response, our security teams have initiated an immediate targeted purge. Slight concerningly, the cheats were caught by Marvel Rivals' automated penalty system, it sounds like, which is trained by the security team that monitors the game for cheats in multiple ways. Where is it? They said, where is it in this article? Yeah, it said it listed. Yeah, they listed some details. I deleted a lot of articles. I don't save all the articles. There's a lot of articles about this. Yeah, but anyways, they posted personally identifiable information. Yes, they fucking dox these motherfuckers. It's not illegal. It's probably against the rules in their private Discord, but yeah, they dox these motherfuckers. Here's the private information about these cheating ass fucking bitches. Public shame them bitches, man. 13 years in, old school RuneScape is winning the war against MMO bots. That's right. Apparently, the ownership has decided to really take a serious stance to address these. Or the new CEO. That's what this article talks about, and that's good because I recently started playing Albion Online, and games like this are notorious for bots to fuck with the market, manipulate the markets, and take resources out from under real players out in the world that you have to farm. All MMORPGs have it. All of them. All of them. So 13 years in, old school RuneScape is winning the war. Yeah. Apparently they have stepped it up. I'm not going to go into the details of the article. Several professional botters have spoken to Sir Pugger over the years. The guy writing this article, I think. And a current large botter reportedly, or he's a streamer or something, who follows the topic. And he's a player of the game. Believes that the current climate is untenable, meaning there are other games to bot and it's easier. Right now, old school RuneScape in that regard is less appealing because of how they've been getting banned so much lately. He said all of a sudden in January this year, bots started getting banned in a matter of hours, not days or weeks. That's right. So that's good news. I like hearing that. I'd like to see. I mean, that's one of the things that like killed New World for me. There's a lot of things that killed New World about me. I mean, maybe Steam will take control of New World and fix all the problems with it because Steam is good about addressing fucking issues. I'm kind of hyped about that. I played New World again. If fucking Face Punch took it over. Yeah. Y'all didn't hear about that. Did you hear about that? Nobody? Nobody heard about that? It was earlier, back in January this year. Yeah, so good news. I love these kind of news. Star Citizen tops $1 billion in crowdfunding milestone as it releases a $5,000 JPEG spaceship you can't even use or get yet. These motherfuckers sold a handful of these already. Now, while I believe this is just a big con game, Star Citizen is, I mean, they're a real company with real employees, and these employees are getting paid somehow. They have like 1,000 employees, this article said. Cloud Imperium. Courtesy of the 6.5 million players who have donated. 6.5 million players have donated. So if you want to know, this is like 0.003 of the global population. It's disgusting because the article goes on to talk about how the game is a janky piece of fucking shit. Janky and buggy as fuck. Almost unplayable. I've talked about this many times before, and if you've been following video games, you know you've heard about Star Citizen, this big ambitious project. Supposedly, the game plays like ass, and they keep doing shit like releasing content. They keep selling content that's not released. They keep selling content that's not released, and these fucking idiots keep buying it. I mean, Bro, I need that $5,000 more than you, bro. Why don't you give me that $5,000 for that shit that you don't even have yet? And just wait till it comes out and buy it when it actually comes out. Jesus fucking Christ. It's like a big fucking Ponzi scheme. I like a big... It's like a big money laundering scheme from the mob or some shit, bro. It doesn't make any fucking sense. No one else does this. There's no other games that do this. Because there's no one else anywhere that would buy shit like this or do this. So that's highly suspicious to me. Something else is going on under the hood, behind the scenes. And I bet you it's a fucking money laundering scheme from criminal organization. I bet. At long last, if you play Dead by Daylight, and I played Dead by Daylight casually during like Halloween holidays, during the harvest. And one of the biggest bitches about fans of the franchise is like, why isn't Jason Voorhees in the fucking game? The fucking most popular, most famous movie serial killer of all time from the Friday the 13th franchise just now. And apparently what's been holding him up all this time is, of course, who owns the rights to the fucking IP and the character and all that shit. But apparently it's been worked out, finally. And they're making a big deal about it. And while I do play Dead by Daylight and I bought the base game, I don't go buy the DLCs and get access to all these characters. I mean, they chase you around when you play the other end of it, but you know, you probably won't be able to play him right away unless you pay for it. Still, finally here, right? I mean, come on. Yeah, what's up? Yeah, finally. Sims, what's up? Sims, Electronic Arts games. Oh, what? Not Sims. What? Not Sims. What? We're not talking about Sims? Huh? We're not talking about Sims. The Sims 4 colorful new competitor Paralives celebrates 250,000 sales. And very positive reviews with fans saying they'll probably never go back to EA's own life sim. So apparently a lot of people who play Sims in the Sims franchise went to check this game out, and they're really liking it. Of course, Electronic Arts has got a shitty history of just being a fucking shitty company all the way around to everybody on all levels. So yeah, you give customers of their games good alternatives, and they'll leave. Developer of Steam hit Life Sim, Parallel Lives explains how it can manage without selling paid DLCs. So they, I guess one of the questions they were asked is about how they're going to finance themselves and blah, blah. And they're like, we've already made our money. People are like, what? That's like, yeah, we're just a small team of 15 people. We don't plan on expanding. Maybe we'll explore that issue. This article really goes into that. But because of where the region of wherever they're at, the money they made, they said will fund their entire team for many, many years to come, like several years to come. And so what they plan on doing is just refining the product they have, addressing bugs, glitches, taking care of all that stuff before they actually start adding stuff. So it's a live service game technically at this point, kind of. And so they will be adding things to it. One of the things people talk about that they're used to in Sims is they're used to having been able to do two things at one time, like multitask, like watch TV and eat was the exact example pointed out. And I think this article right here. So yeah, they said they've got their money. They're comfortable. They've won. The game's financed. They don't need to release DLC right now. They don't think they'll need to because the game's popularity should sell itself. So we'll see. Maybe they'll be opting for microtransactions in game as opposed to DLCs. That's a lot of free to play games go, but did they say how much is it on Steam? Check it out. Check it out. Oh no, motherfucker. Am I spelling it right? I am an uneducated fuck, bro. I did push copy. Yeah, there it is. Yeah, it's $40. It's on sale right now. It's got only on Steam. Got 42,000 people playing it. If you like Sims games, smash hit apparently. Knock yourself out. And we're about to wrap up the show here. We're closing in on the end of the news segment of the show, and we're going to talk about a few new games. I saw this, and it really caught my eye. New ARPG on Steam is Diablo meets God of War remixed into the extraction genre. Yes, it's an extraction ARPG. And I'm not going to even read the fucking article because I saw the description. I'm all like, I don't know about that. And then I went and looked at it, and I'm all like, I think that's something I can get behind. And especially because it's a free-to-play game. You can request access to the game right now. I have not got my access. I just requested it yesterday. This is a free-to-play extraction ARPG. PvP. Looks really, really good. You know, if you like League of Legends, ARPGs, Dota, Path of Exile, Diablo, even like Albion. Albion's a very hardcore PvP looter game, if you didn't know. So, I'm pretty confident I should receive access. If not, I'll just hit it when it. Yeah, Gods, Death, and Reapers, man. It looks really, really good. Really, really good. And if you haven't requested yet, you'll say request access right here, but I've requested access. It looks really good. Look at all the discussions about it already. Did you see this game? Here's a choose-your-own-adventure RPG from a former Capcom developer. This dude spent 6 years in a remote Japanese mountain village. Not Chinese village. I told someone that was wrong. The entire thing's entirely handmade. All the illustrations is done by hand. Yes. And the art just looks dope. It's a choose your own adventure. And I used before the internet, I would go to the library and I would get choose your own adventures books. Choose your own adventure books. I remember them. So this is kind of nostalgic for me in watching how it's done. Single player story game. Choose your own adventure. It's like you're playing a role player game. This is all hand drawn art. This is all hand drawn. Veritas Tells, Witch of the Dark Castle. So this former old school Capcom developer, I guess this is his name, publisher 15 Industry. Little small publisher. Yeah, it looks really, really good, and it caught my eye. So yeah, I'm pulling for it. I'm pulling for you, guy. I also released, coming out, Planet Zoo 2 is on the way. If you like city builder games, can't deny the success of the first one. And with the popularity of Subnautica, apparently they got like this whole aquatic animal theme edition. So yeah, people are highly anticipating that. Can't deny its popularity. And then there's this 81-year-old developer finally finishes and releases abandoned puzzle game after hearing there's a big demand for retro games now. You want to know how retro this game is? So yeah, this dude, apparently the game was abandoned back in the day when he worked for whoever he worked for. And he's old, obviously. And a former colleague, employer contacted him and is like, yeah, remember that game you worked on? It's a big demand for shit. He said, you basically can release a new retro game right now, and you should be able to make a killing off of it. So, and the article goes in to say, well, they didn't know who owned the rights to the IP and that the guy had created. And so they did some research, and it turns out Atari owns it. So they did. The dude made the game. They released the game. The shit is so fucking... it's so retro, you can't play it on computer unless you have some type of emulator. So, it's called Return to Blacktooth. Return to Blacktooth is available from Thalamus Digital Publishing for both Atari ST and the Commodore Amiga. That's right. Unless you got an emulator. Atari ST and Commodore Amiga. Yeah. Talk about retro. And I looked it up. It ain't on Steam. It is not on Steam. Return to Blacktooth. Return to Blacktooth. Where do I buy? Where do I buy? Yep. It's $13. You can buy it now for $13. And we're going to close out the news today with a live action adaptation of Voltron starring my boy Henry Cavill. I didn't even know. And this announcement is so new. There isn't any clips. There isn't even like any fan-made adaptation to promote it. No. If you like Voltron and Henry Cavill, the bad news, it's only going to be on Amazon. I'm sure it'll get released elsewhere, but it's only going to be on Amazon. It's for Amazon Prime Video. I'm not going to get into my feelings about that shit. But hey, it's a Voltron movie with Henry Cavill. I guess he's kind of freed up now that he's not doing Superman or The Witcher, which is really bad because if you've been following that whole story, back when James Gunn started taking over the DC universe and redoing things, there was a lot of speculation. And the last DC movie that had come out was Black Adam by Dwayne Johnson. That was the last DC universe movie of that DC universe era. And none of it has anything to do with the movies that were made after that moving to the future. That's why there's a new Superman and everything. And I think it was probably budgetary things. They're looking for new actors just not as expensive as Henry or Dwayne Johnson. Because Dwayne Johnson says that's the only reason why he came to the DC universe was because of the star power it had at that time. You know, Batman was Jennifer Lopez's husband, Miss Lopez, fucking Ben Affleck, AKA Miss Lopez. Come on, that's funny. That's funny. That's funny. I don't know who you talking about. Mrs. Lopez. Oh yeah, Ben Affleck. And so, because there was a big conflict with the time requirement, and Henry Cavill's like, I had to choose. He's like, am I going to be The Witcher or am I going to be Superman? Apparently, at that time, he was able to do both. So he's like, I'm going to do Superman. And he's like, I can't do The Witcher. So he retired from The Witcher, and that's why there's a new Witcher, because Henry decided to go do Superman. And then right after that, James Gunn is like, sorry, bud, we don't need you for Superman anymore, which is fucked up. It's just fucked up. Yeah. You guys didn't know that? So Henry Cavill's live-action Voltron movie coming to Amazon Prime. What's up? What is up? And that's it for the news. This wraps up the news for this May 30th, 2026 segment of Flux Reversals Video Game Industry News Chat and Reacts Weekly Recap. If you actually watched or lurked, I appreciate it.